the biggest thing that I have seen help myself and the women who I see walk through these doors is finding your people and really putting effort into cultivating friendships before pitching your business to people.
Yes. Welcome to another episode of the Building Well podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Mago, founder of Ahadi Creations, where I serve as a marketing consultant and partner for female founders, helping them push their brands forward through strategy when they need direction and implementation when they need reliable execution. I'm so glad you're here. This podcast is full of candid conversations with other female founders just like you who are sharing insights from their journeys while encouraging you to stay on yours. Let's dive in. To get the conversation started, can you introduce yourself and let us know what you do and who you help?
Yes. So my name is Inbal Claudio. I am a membership and event strategist. So I help female founders create profitable in-person experiences that people actually show up for. For the past 5+ years, I've been hosting communities, both virtual and in person. I built out my own social networking platform completely from scratch and grew that to about 4,000 women from all over the world in about 2 years and brought it in person 2.5 years ago. And it's just been the most incredible experience. Now we're a membership community. We host weekly events at my co-working space, from like wellness to business, clothing swaps, girls' nights, masterminding. So it's been really, really fun. And then just hosted my first retreat and planning my second one and a large event. So everything I do is community, events, memberships, and then I help women do the same.
Yeah. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while and have been wondering what it's like to work together, this is your invitation. Visit ahadicreations.com to explore my marketing services. And let's build something that truly supports the next season of your business. Strategy when you need direction, implementation when you need reliable execution. I love it. You're like the community queen.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about how the retreat was, how it was structured.
Almost a year ago, I wanted to host a large event. And I kept like looking at venues and pulling back and going forward. And I'm like, you know what? I am more of like an intimate, small room person. So why am I going large?
Yeah.
Let me go retreat. And it was in Palm Springs. So I'm based in Orange County, California. It was in Palm Springs. So it was local enough. I found the cutest like hotel turned Airbnb, and it had a pool. It had a bunch of like solo rooms, guest like shared rooms, and everything I do, like the mission behind my business is friendship first and business second. So we had a full friendship day of like a sauna and cold plunge came to us. We did painting on canvases, and then we had a full business day. So like masterminding, brainstorming, we had a private chef. But we had 19 women and it was amazing. It was really like, it was stressful for me to create something like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, of course.
Behind the scenes, totally stressful.
Yeah.
But honestly, because I've created such an incredible in-person community, just bringing them together at a retreat just made sense. And we had women fly from the East Coast who have been in my world for a while. I had friends fly from the East Coast, and then the majority of the women came from this community we have.
Okay. And what's the name of your community?
It's called Like-Minded OC.
Like-Minded OC?
Yeah, Orange County.
Okay. Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say, was it okay? Orange County. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, I hope the next one goes well. Just putting that out there.
Thank you.
But right now, in the stage of business that you are, what are you focused on the most right now?
So, my communities are going great. The retreat is going great. I'm planning a 150-person event in October because I was like, okay, let's actually bring this to life.
A little bit.
Now I feel ready. But right now I'm focusing more on helping women create their profitable in-person events because I do coaching and I do consulting. I help women create memberships and communities of their own. A lot of the time it's virtual, and I realized like there is so much more magic when you bring people in person. So that's really what I'm focusing now. I'm building out a course for that, helping women create events that they make money. Like I've spoken to so many women who are like,
Yeah,
yeah,
they make
like
nothing.
$2,000 into this event. I'm like, what are you charging? They're like, it's free. I'm like, no,
Yeah, yeah,
no.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I just want to like, honestly, my goal is to empower women to charge for events, make
Mhm,
money to where it's
mhm,
sustainable because
mhm.
we need more in-person events. You're not going to be able to sustain it if you're
Yeah, and they
not
don't do it again.
ready. Right. They're like,
Yep,
I lost $2,000. I can't do that
yep,
again.
yeah,
So that's kind of what I'm working on now.
yeah. And yeah, because there has been a huge increase in people wanting in person. Even the virtual things that people used to join all the time, tremendous decline in people joining because, yeah, people are ready for in person. Absolutely.
Yes. It's just so different. The connections are better. The retention is better. The trust is built so much
Hmm.
quicker.
Hmm.
So yeah, virtual is, there's a place and a time. However,
Sure.
I think the majority of people now will get in their car and drive somewhere as opposed to,
Hmm.
spend an hour on Zoom.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like even more flying that it needs to fly. Like there's way more people okay with going wherever, you know?
Yes.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
So with what you're working on now with doing more in person or supporting people doing that, what's been harder than you expected with doing this behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes, oh my gosh, I can throw an event for whatever people, but creating a course is just
Okay.
we were talking before you hit record. We're like, now I'm doing my branding, you know?
Hmm.
So
Yes.
because I have all these different things, I have the retreat, I have
Hmm.
like-minded live, I have all
Hmm.
this, it needs to be cohesive for me to be able
Absolutely.
to even create content online and
Hmm.
my
Hmm.
website. So for me, the biggest thing is like, wow, I do need to put time and effort into building my brand. Like, I'm very well aware of my value propositions and what, everything that I put forward into my
Hmm.
business and the
Hmm.
mission.
Hmm.
But the the visual aspect was really kind of lagging.
Hmm.
So that building out my course, the framework, recording it, I mean, logistics is
Yeah. The
so much
tech.
harder. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's just, yeah, there's so much to go into it.
yes, a lot of nuances. And I'm glad you mentioned the branding because that's what I always remind my clients. Like, we know you can provide the service that you provide, you're good at what you do, but how you show up matters. And if it's not cohesive, it does minimize a little bit the trust. So I'm glad that you recognize that and you're getting it done as
Yeah.
you
And it's
continue
just
to
so
grow.
much easier to show up
Hmm.
that way where you're like,
Yes,
okay, I know who I am. I know what my
exactly.
business
You're more
is. I know what I
confident.
stand for. Yeah.
Yes,
And it looks cute.
absolutely. Thank you. Absolutely. Cohesion is great. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. I look forward to seeing it for sure.
Thanks.
Now, would you say that logistics part of the course that you're building, for instance, has that been more mentally draining than you expected? Or has there been something in particular that mentally you're like, oh my goodness, if I can't get this off my mind, like it's just been a lot for me?
I'm like so much better in person interacting and having conversations. Like I do 60-minute strategy calls all day long.
Mhm.
Now I have to kind of build out a framework. And so
Mhm.
figuring out how I work best and putting it into steps, right? So building out my framework and then saying, okay, this is my framework for how I put on profitable in-person events. And these are the different steps. These are the different modules. These are the different touch points and like learning how to add things in and then taking that, creating a workbook, creating email templates, creating market research templates. This is where the branding comes in, creating a deck,
Yes.
right? Like what is it going to look like? What am I going to
Mhm.
say?
Mhm.
And then once you have everything laid out, then it's the recording part, which is where I'm kind of at, where I'm going to go in and start recording the modules. And then I'm using Circle. It's my community software that I use. So I'm going to host
It on
um,
Circle.
my course in
Okay.
Circle as well.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask. Okay, that's great. Yeah, I have been a part of communities in Circle that had a course attached, and it
Mhm.
was pretty good. It was pretty user friendly, so that's
Yeah,
good.
everyone is so familiar with Circle
Hmm.
now. So I feel like it's just
They've
a
grown.
no-brainer. sooner.
Hmm. Hmm. I remember when they first started, and they've come a long way. They really
Yes.
have. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Is there anything that you've avoided for a long time that now you realize you should have done sooner to move the needle even quicker in your business, anywhere in business?
Yeah. I actually just wrote an email on this. It's one of
Oh,
my sequences.
okay.
So when I launched my virtual community,
Hmm.
I made it free
Okay.
because, so a little bit of a backstory. I had a candle company, and when my first
Mm.
daughter was born, I had to pivot from like the in-person shows and events that I was doing more to the online space. And I had no idea what I was doing.
Okay.
Zero. And I felt like everybody looked at me like a dollar sign. And all these community hosts would want you to join their Facebook group, but you were never allowed to talk about your business.
Hmm.
People's courses were like $10,000. They were promising all these things. And I just wanted to create a space that felt safe, which is why my mission is friendship first and business second. I'm like, why can't I just make some business friends and riff a little bit and learn? So I built out this software. It took me 2.5 years, and I launched it completely free. And I was like, female founders need a free place. We were hosting weekly networking. We were hosting weekly workshops,
Okay.
co-working, journaling. I mean, there were so many offerings like 4 years ago, and people were like really consuming this stuff.
Hmm.
And that was my biggest mistake. And this is what I teach people now when it comes to free versus paid. It was so difficult to convert people from a free
Yeah.
community
Okay.
where I poured everything into all the time
Hmm.
into paid. And it
Hmm.
was almost like I got used to offering things for free. And I'm like, well, I can't charge now. And
Hmm.
this should be free. And,
Yeah.
great. If I was a millionaire, I could have provided this for free. But that was one of my biggest mistakes where I just built everything for everyone and just gave it away. But I wish that I would have even charged $5 a month
Hmm.
for what I was providing. And that's what I do now with my in person. There are some free lead generating events. However, everything I do is paid in some capacity because I see the conversion is there, the effort that goes into it is there. So that's the biggest thing that I even talk about. I mean, till I'm blue in the face, where
Hmm.
don't do things for free unless they're very strategically free because it's not sustainable and it won't convert.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That whole doing business for free is a very debated area.
Yes.
I'm not a huge fan of it only because you're putting in time and effort. Just like you said, even low, like something. Because when
Mhm.
people pay, they pay attention. And we should all know that by now. So
Yeah.
free doesn't, is not sustainable. And we're trying to build stuff that will sustain us for sure.
Yeah, and
Not
people
something
don't
temporary.
show up. You're putting
Hmm.
so much effort into hosting something, whether it's virtual or in person.
Hmm.
People just don't show up.
Hmm.
And so it's defeating. And at least if you're charging and people don't show up, at least you made a
Okay.
little bit to put towards the other people in the room. But yeah, it's free is not it.
So how do you feel about free networking events virtually?
I still have friends who host them and I
Okay.
still go.
Mhm.
I have a friend in my community who's a brand photographer and she hosts a free hike every single month.
Mm.
And it's great for her. It's a lead generator. She loves to do it. She doesn't do
Mhm.
any marketing anymore for it. She literally just shows up and like 40 people are with her. So I think that there's a time and a place. And if it can really build, who you are, it keeps you top of mind. I think it's okay. But I definitely think that you need to move people into some sort of direction.
Mhm.
I host a free workshop on memberships. I offer something at the end of the
Right.
workshop, right?
Mhm.
I offer a free lead generating event once a quarter at my co-working space. It's like I don't provide anything. People bring their coffee, I facilitate conversation. I'm able to pitch my community, but it's once a quarter. So the networking calls that people have, it kind of just keeps people top of mind, which I think is great. But if you're starting to dread it, then
It's too much.
stop it.
Mhm. Mm. When listening to stories just like this one thing that truly stands out to me is how much clarity and doing what lights you up truly impacts growth. If you're in a place where your business has grown, but your brand or online presence really hasn't caught up, that's exactly what I help my clients refine. You can learn more at ahadicreations.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, talking a little bit more about how you structure your business, what are you juggling currently in your personal life while also running your business?
Oh my gosh. I'm a mom of 3. My personal
Same.
life. So,
Yeah.
yeah, my kids are 6, 4, and 3, and I have a husband who travels for work quite often.
Okay.
So that, and I have my
Our kids are like the
community.
same age, by the way.
How old are yours?
6, 2, 4, 6. But I
Oh
liked
my
how
gosh.
you went down 6, 4. That was cute. I know there's a
6,
lot.
4, 3, 3,
Yeah.
4, 6. Yeah. I'm like, why
Yeah,
did I
mine
do
are
that?
2, 4, 6.
We're literally in the same boat. I love that.
Mhm.
So right?
Yes.
3 little kids, a spouse, just juggling all the things. And then I also have, this big event that I'm launching. I travel to some events here and there as well. And my events that I host every single week for my community. So there's a lot of juggling, but I'm sure
Yeah.
you can relate to. There's we condense as much as we can into the hours during the day. And then I'm very mindful when I'm at home. Like 99% of the time when my kids are home, my phone is upside down. Like I try not to look at it as much as I can. But my husband and I are very well aware, like things happen. Either I go upstairs to our office or he goes upstairs to his office, but like we try our best. There's juggling and then you just do your best.
Mhm. Is there something that you've refined or changed to help you juggle what you got going on with your routines?
I
Or anything that
always,
you're shifting to help reduce the stress that comes with life?
yeah, I mean, I think last night I was telling my husband I was laying in bed and just like the running to-do list never stops. But I think for me, what I love to do and what I've always done is like at the end of the day, I use Notion as my operating system. And so are you a Notion lover too?
I live in Notion. Everything's in Notion.
Everything is in Notion.
Everything's in
Everything.
Notion. Wow, good.
I have
Tell
to
me.
connect you to my friend Diana. She's a Notion expert, like certified
Oh,
with
okay.
Notion. She'd be so proud that I just brought this up, and then she'll immediately love you because you're a Notion person too. But everything goes in Notion. Like at the end of the day, everything that I have to do for the next day is there. And the way she actually built out my operating system.
Okay, cool. Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, it's like right there, front and center. I have like my scratch pad and I put that in. So that helps me kind of know like, okay, everything out of my head, at least in Notion. And then that helps. Also communication with my husband, communication with my parents if they want to pick up the kids once in a while, which is great. And then I also talk about this a lot when I help people build out memberships and communities and events for themselves. The pro is that you can cater events to your own needs. I'm not going to have events at night. I'm not going to have events on the weekends, right?
Exactly.
So that's also the perk of kind of starting something on your own. And the way that I do my events, they're Thursdays from 10 to 12. One event is from 2 to 5 once a month, but that's it. I create my schedule the way that works for me.
Yes. And so that point about creating your own, because this came to my mind when I earlier this year saw a conference for moms, and I looked at the schedule and it started at 10, just like yours starts at 10. But all these other people, they're opening doors at 7:30 a.m. And I'm like, who is there at 7:30? Like, that's not designed. What are we, why am I talking to you at 7:30 in the morning? Like, what are we doing?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah. Everyone's not designed. Everyone doesn't design their event for people with families or people who tend to them at all.
7:30. I'm in the middle of lunches and dropping kids off.
I
I'm
don't
putting
want to see you
shoes
at
on kids who don't want to put shoes on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So with you doing more events and everything that you're doing, you're getting more visibility. So how has your relationship changed with visibility over time?
Um, when I launched my virtual community, it's called Like Minded Collective. I shut it down last year because I really moved more towards in person, but I was always hiding behind the brand, you know?
Okay.
And then about 2 years ago, I was at this event. And my friend is like, you need to create a personal brand. And I'm like, what's a personal brand? And it's like slowly but surely, I've had to build my own personal brand, show up more. And I'm really unapologetic when it comes to stuff like that, you know? So things that matter to me go on my personal brand. Things that are event related go on Like Minded OC. My kids, events, motherhood, I'm Jewish. So like things like that, holidays, everything goes on my personal, and then my coaching. And then the events go in Like Minded OC. So it's really been like, it's easier for me because of the branding, where I know everything goes where it needs to go. And it's kind of helped because when you build a community and you host events and you have these women who like support you, it's easier to show up because they rally for you, they support you, they like cheer you on, you know, as opposed to crickets.
Yeah. So you have two different pages? Do you have one? You have two different pages or one?
I
Two.
used to have like 5 and I shut them
Okay. Oh,
down.
wow. Yes.
I had
No,
one for
we
my
can't do
candle
that.
business. Too much.
Oh my
One for
goodness.
my
Yeah, that's
candle
too much.
business, one for my virtual community. So now I have one for myself, my in-person community, and my co-working space. So it's
Okay.
like,
Yeah, you need one for co-working. I can see that.
yeah.
Okay.
And it's its own space. I rent it out.
Yeah.
And so, but I don't really post as much on there. I do mostly like collaborative posts.
Just for like
And sharing.
visibility type thing
Yeah.
for people to find you type thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a
But
business card on
most of what
Instagram.
I do, totally, most of what I do is just on my personal brand page.
That's where you're most active.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I currently just have one. I don't think I would ever. A couple years ago, I was in the middle of deciding if I should have two different ones. But yeah, no, I definitely just have one because I'm really not a big social media person at all. I only do it because of business and the reality of life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just have one. But that's commendable. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
What is helping you with staying in business with what you're juggling? What kind of support have you seen that keeps you going?
I talk about this a lot and the power of community. Like honestly, the women in my community, the women on my email list who were a part of my virtual community or who have come to my events. I think when you surround yourself with women who get it and who can like resonate with the hardships and celebrate your wins and brainstorm with you when you need, you know, that extra support, that's honestly what gets me through. I have a community, like it's not really a community, it's a group of my girlfriends. We call ourselves the Quad Pod. It's 4 of us. We all have in-person communities, and we formed our little like Voxer group chat probably like 3 years ago. And we just chat in Voxer. We meet once a month virtually. We meet in person all across the US. And they're like my sounding board. So
That's great.
yeah, that has helped tremendously. It's because of them that I started my in-person community, have pivoted so many different times. I'm able to kind of chat through my business model, my offerings. And then we just basically give each other whatever we need. If one person has hosted a large event, the other person hasn't, we give resources. I had another chapter in Charleston at one point, and I was able to give my friend resources when she launched her second chapter. So we're really just like sisters who have the same in-person communities, know this, you know, we go through the same hardships when it comes to business, and we're able to kind of like riff and chat and support each other. So that's been huge.
Where did you meet each other?
Yeah, we met each other through my community, actually.
Oh, all of the okay.
Yeah. So I was looking, when I first launched my virtual community, I was looking for workshop speakers, and I met one of the girls. Her name is Haley. She lives in Arizona. So I met her. I'm like, oh, she's so cool. She's great. Like we vibe. And then I was like years ago when I was looking for more podcasts to be on, I met this girl, Kelsey, and she's like, oh, I've already recorded this season, but let's hop on a Zoom because you seem like normal. And we instantly connected. And then they were on my virtual networking call. And I'm like, oh, you both have in-person communities. You guys should connect. And so they met. And then the fourth one, Bree, she lives in Sacramento. She met with my friend Kelsey. And then all of us kind of just came together.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. It's so fun.
That's cool. At one point last year, I had tried to start a group for moms, but there's, as you know, there's so much energy to put into a community. And before I started, I said, I told myself you shouldn't do it because I really didn't have the capacity.
You're
Like I know
you
myself, but I did it. And I had a few that were interested. And I didn't promote it as much as I should. Like I made it like, just don't do this. But I think it's great when you find people that you can regularly check in with and get insights from. That's wonderful.
Yeah, especially when you give as much as you get and know that everyone is going through different seasons of life and business. And we just honestly support each other and we show up as we are. So there's like never judgment. We talk to each other like we're literal siblings. Sometimes we yell at each other. Sometimes like it's just that's us.
Yeah.
People must think we're crazy sometimes in public, but that it's you have to find people who give as much as they take.
Yes.
And they're in the same boat. I think a lot of people in the world right now are like such in competition with one another. Like, oh, you do this, like I can't be friends with you because you do the same thing and I don't want to share your things, and really have this scarcity mindset. But when you realize that you could be doing the same thing, but you really attract a different audience.
Absolutely.
It could be
You're different people.
perfect referrals. Right. You're different people. You have different offerings. You have different niches.
Yes.
And so finding people who do the same thing and have the same kind of mindset as you could be so valuable for your business and your life.
That's very true. That's very true. Yeah, because, you know, we know entrepreneurship has so many waves or ripples that occur. With the changes that you've experienced since you've been in business, have you noticed that your definition of success has changed?
Yeah, I think before it was very like revenue based, like 5K, 10K, you know, all these like magic numbers that people throw out. But I think because I'm able to go home and put my phone down for 3 hours when my kids are home from school and before bedtime, I think that's success. I booked a flight for me and my daughter to take a trip, just me and her last night. That is success for me.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So it's like these little things, you know, and then business wise, just I feel successful every single event I have. These women are like connecting. They're now going to dinner after the event sometimes. They're meeting up for coffee before the events. They're collaborating. Like that to me is magic. And even when I was making $0, I felt so successful because these relationships were happening. It really like it was what fueled me.
Yes. Love that. I agree. Is there anything, is there a version of yourself that you're outgrowing currently as you keep climbing and doing more?
I've learned to say no a lot more, which is probably why I haven't done as many podcasts recently. I just feel like I'm really figuring out, or I was figuring out over the last few months, like where I stand outside of the event and membership world and what I have to offer, and, you know, like the funnel and the lead generate and all these things. And so I'm just kind of like moving into that and really realizing like I don't need to say yes to everything. Like, yes, I build communities. Yes, I host events. and I can't go to coffee with everybody. I can't have coffee chats with everybody.
Yes. Yes.
It's just not sustainable. And so Inbal, a year ago was always saying yes, and I was never able to grow my business. Now I'm like, oh yeah, just come to my event. We have a free one in 6 weeks, like just come hang out, meet new people. It's a lot easier.
Then meet me making all these virtual meetings. And yeah,
Yeah.
because even myself, I've drastically reduced how many virtual chats I do. Because I am the type person, if I talk to you, I'm like, oh, I want to meet. Like, my
Yeah.
instinct is, oh, let's meet. Oh,
Yeah.
let's chat. Oh, let's chat. I'm like, you can't do that to
Yeah,
everybody.
it's not
'Cause
possible.
there was a time I was like, okay, look, it's nice to be nice, but you also have to be practical too.
Totally.
So yeah, I agree with that.
If you're enjoying this episode, be sure to click the follow button and share with a friend.
What are you protecting more of right now? So you said you're saying no more, which is great. So what are you really protecting?
I'm honestly protecting my peace. Also, I started playing tennis, and so I'm like, I say
I remember
no.
seeing.
Yeah. I'm newly obsessed with tennis. But I'm realizing that I need to give myself something. Monday mornings I play tennis, and it's like my time from being with my kids and catering to everybody else over the weekend to just being like, before I go into work and cater to all the women in my community, like I need Monday mornings for myself, and it lines with hair washing day and the timing. So it's perfect.
Can you tell us a little bit about your routine through the week as a mom and business owner?
Sure.
Honestly?
Yeah. So Monday I play tennis. I wash my hair after. And usually I will do errands on Monday afternoon. So Costco, Trader Joe's, whatever I need, organize things, fold the laundry that I've done, the millions of loads over the weekend. And then Monday afternoons, my daughter has tennis. And so I pick her up around 3. I take her to tennis, and then pick up my other 2 and come home. My husband, we call him Chef Daddy. He has food ready. He's the chef of the family.
Okay.
And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, very either sometimes I'll do a 5 a.m. workout or I'll do an afternoon workout, but usually I drop off my kids or my husband does, but I'm at my space from 8:30 till 4:30. We host events every Thursday, and then I'll pick a day during the week at night to go play tennis. And then Fridays, sometimes I have events, sometimes I have calls, but I'm usually here in the office. So, and then Saturdays and Sundays, always with my kids, unless I'm at an event traveling. It's so weird. I won't say yes to events locally on the weekends. I'm like, oh no, that's family time. But if I go somewhere, yeah, why is that?
It makes them, I guess psychologically, because psychologically California is home, so you can't do any I'm home. It can be with the people. Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I mean, I really don't travel for work a lot, but probably 3 times a year I'll go. But that's basically my schedule. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm at my office. Yeah. Thursdays we have events. And then Mondays are kind of a free for all day. Yeah.
I kind of like that you're doing your resets for the week on Mondays, basically.
Yes.
So I like that because I will never tire of hearing other moms resets or their routines and all these things. Because I've found myself doing a little bit on Saturday, but more so on Fridays. So I'm always open for, ideas,
Yeah. I feel like Fridays, if I don't get as much done as I need on Fridays, then I'm catching up on Saturday and Sunday. So I feel like when I give myself a solid chunk of time on Fridays, then I'm
So
good.
you are working Friday?
Yeah, I work on Friday. Sometimes at home, sometimes here, sometimes I have events. My friend who's the brand photographer, sometimes she does a hike, and so I'll go to the hike and then come here. But I do work just because I send out an email every single Monday morning to my community. So I want to make sure that is set.
That's ready.
I want to make sure that like my calendar is organized for the following
So you're,
week. That like
yeah, okay, so you're prepping for the next week. Okay, okay.
correct.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
recently changed. I like it so far, but nothing's permanent because I feel like every 6 months I'm having to redo my schedule. But
I know.
for now, I don't work on Fridays much. I might do some admin work in the morning, but it's mainly just my kids get off early that day because of their school, so I'm spending more time with them. We're outside, playing, just doing, things. But I've found that I'm liking to have like a clean, organized space so that the weekend I'm not like worried about cleaning and like I can maybe breathe on the weekend.
Yes. Yes.
But I do like this Monday concept, so I will keep it
Yeah.
on keep it in the
Even
books.
Monday morning, if it's just like you get to enjoy your coffee a little bit more, or like a longer breakfast, or you meet a friend for breakfast or something, just like we have 6, 4, and 2, right? It's like there's a lot on the weekends, and there's a lot that people need from us on the weekends. And so that's why I like to just be like when my kids leave on Monday morning, either I drop them off or like the last one gets dropped off for my husband, I'm just like,
Yes, yes. Or at least you're breathing. I need to remember to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot going on. And it's great that you have regular physical activity through the week. So that's a good thing. That's a good
Yeah,
thing.
I tried to.
Yeah.
That was not something that I prioritized a lot when my middle daughter now was younger. We had a nanny, and I felt guilty like taking time where I'm paying a nanny and then taking time to work out. And my husband
Yeah.
was like, you need, like, this is a you problem. Like, you need to get over this, go work out. Like, realize that working out will make you so much more productive and like happier and get the endorphins going, And so it took me a while to be okay with taking time throughout the day, taking time on a Monday to play tennis. Like, I think it's something that you get used to eventually, and you're like, okay, like my business did not collapse. Like, I'm able to come back more energized, and I'm a better mom. I'm a better spouse. I'm a better person. But I think that took a lot of getting used to for me.
Yeah, for a lot of women. I mean, because instinct, I would say more of us have that problem than
Yeah.
don't. So yeah, that's
Yes.
unfortunately that's just how we're wired for
I know.
most things.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why you find a spouse who pushes you out the door.
I was gonna say that's so sweet that he says that. Yeah, that's great that you have that support. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up, I do have one question. What's one thing that you would tell the listener who's trying to juggle life, stay the course of entrepreneurship, do all the things? What would you say to them?
I think the biggest thing is find your people and put yourself in real life rooms where you can find people like this, and don't stop trying until you find them. Like, not every community is created equal. Not every group of people will be your jam, and go see if you mesh. If not, go find a different community. But when you get older, it's harder to find friends and it takes a little bit more effort. But what I've seen in entrepreneurial communities is we're all in the same boat. So many people walk through the door of my community and they're like, oh my gosh, like I just moved here. And they're putting themselves out there. And then it feels like a warm hug when you find your community. So the biggest thing that I have seen help myself and the women who I see walk through these doors is finding your people and really putting effort into cultivating friendships before pitching your business to people.
Yes, that's great. I agree with that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And thanks for all your insights today, sharing your journey with us. Can you tell the listener what offer you might have for them, how they can stay connected with you, all those good things?
Yeah. So I am all about in-person events and communities and memberships. I have a freebie. It's called 50 Plus Membership Ideas for Female Founders. So if you're thinking of ways to generate recurring revenue, want to bring people together in real life, it's a great way to start. I also host a monthly workshop for free all about the magic of memberships. And so if somebody's thinking about starting something, definitely check them out there. And then my Instagram has all the things. My website has all the things. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we'll, of course, have all that linked in the show notes and below the episode. Thank you so much for coming on
Thank
today.
you. This was so
Okay.
great.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. The links to connect with today's guest and any other links mentioned during this episode can be found in the show notes below, as well as by visiting ahadicreations.com/podcast. AHADI creations.com/podcast. If anything resonated with you from today's episode, please leave a 5-star review so that other female founders can find and be inspired by the stories shared within this podcast. Thank you so much for being here, and always remember, together we can build. I'll meet you right here on the next episode.